have a problem. So,
Usosa Sports Festival. And the reason why we're here is to throw light on what the sports festival is about, outcomes, expectations from both our members, Community Schools All Students Association, and also to inform not just the people within the location, the globe. Our members are all over the place, so this is like a session to inform, to enlighten, and to publicize the third edition of Unity Schools All Students Association. Thank you, and thank you for your presence here means a lot, because you will carry our stories far and wide and ensure that the attendance is appreciated. Thank you. So I will introduce. Far left is Dr. Vivian Ozekwe. Dr. Vivian Ozekwe is the Assistant Financial Secretary of Unity Schools All Students Association. Right beside Dr. Vivian is Honorable Solomon Sokolo, please, who is the chairman of the local organizing committee for the third edition of Usosa Sports Festival. Sitting right here is the Secretary General of Usosa, Kingsley Chidi Anene, and I am Choma Anime, Usosa Publicity Secretary. Thank you. So the Secretary General will just give a brief. The LOC chairperson will share the expectations from this event and will take your questions. Thank you.
I want to say thank you for joining us today for this press conference. We want to also say thank you because over the years you guys have been our partners and you have been able to help spread our activities and initiatives all over the world. Come this weekend, we'll be having the third edition of the Unity Schools All Students Association Sports Carnival. This is the third year that we are having that event, and for us in Usosa, it's one of our biggest events as it brings together alumnus from different All Students Associations. The Unity Schools All Students Association is an association of over 117 Unity colleges, old students, ex-students of any of our old boys schools, old girls schools, or old students from our federal Unity colleges. We have members spread across the world, and over the years we've been able to sit down from time to time and discuss several issues of how we can help promote and improve conversations around unity of our country. We are products of federal government colleges, which means that the federal government has placed a lot of investments, while we were in school. And during that time, what has happened is that we only can pay back. We have several programs, like I had said, we have plenaries where we look around improving the education, quality of education, or revamping of our unity schools or education in the country as a whole. And we see sports as a leveler, right from our days in school, we used to have sports games and inter-house games where students would come together, camaraderie, we would compete, we would sweat together, all under the same, having the same experience and projecting unity of our nation. We have members from all parts of the country. We have ex-students who sit, we have over 63 different cities where we have our members residing. We have members all over the world. So what this does for us is it gives us an opportunity to preach unity of our country. Nobody's going to sell Nigeria for us other than members of the federal unity colleges, because we see ourselves as true Nigerians, true and true. I, for example, always use my experience in school. I used to play for the football team, and I always say that next right to me, the central defense, you have people from the northern part or the western part of the country. I myself am from the southern part of the nation. So every time we do sport activities, it gives us that opportunity to bond. It gives us the opportunity to sweat together, to work, teamwork, right? And when we celebrate victory, we celebrate together as one team. So for Usosa, the message across everyone, Nigerian, all over the world, is to embrace the message of unity, right? The theme for this year's Sports Carnival is sports, a tool for national unity. And I think there's no best time than for us to continue to preach national unity in its entirety. So we had the first edition in Lagos, southwestern part of the country. Last year we were in the north central part in Abuja. And this year we're having it in the south-south region of Nigeria in Port Harcourt. And Port Harcourt for us is very significant because we have a very, very strong group of Usosans who reside in Rivers State and in Port Harcourt. And they have come together, they have put this together. The LOC chairman will speak around his plans for the event, but we are very assured of what we have seen on ground, having been around the venues, having been around several locations. You look at what they have planned for the event. We will continue to talk about unity of our country. We also want to use this opportunity to also mention that the hope of this nation is in our youth who are coming through, our youth colleges and our public schools all together. And we need to also realign and refocus in the area of increasing and improving the quality of the learning experience of the children in public schools, especially those of our federal unity colleges. And we embrace recent information from the Ministry of Education that the government has set aside funds to revamp especially infrastructure, some of our federal unity colleges. And that is where one of the things I think more success stories we can point to in recent times. And we also want to ask that the media, I think from time to time, every time we have the events, we come together and invite us. Let's also have a long or better relationship in terms of communicating some of the things that is being done around education, around unity conversation, because it will help us as a nation, as against a lot of the things that we see in the back pages. Let's be about the unity of Nigeria, and this for us is the number one message that we send across national levels, faith level, all regions or parts of our nation. This is an eye-opener for us. Let us unite this country with sports. Thank you, and I'll let the LOC chair speak specifically about what we expect to see this weekend. Thank you.
Have been slated, and from previous experience, I think this is going to be about the biggest we're going to have, because we have games like table tennis, lawn tennis, all the board games, that is Scrabble, chess, Ludo. We also have badminton, we have golf, we have snooker, billiards, and all of these games, and swimming. All of these games are going to take place on Friday. For the golf, we're going to have it at Shell Club, while the badminton is going to take place at Bori Camp. That of the volleyball, swimming, tennis, lawn tennis, and all the board games, they are going to take place in Port Harcourt Club. The time of commencement of these games will start from 12 o'clock on Friday. Hopefully, we're going to end that day, but in case there are spillovers, we'll continue on Saturday for that of Port Harcourt Club. While for that of the Yakubu Gowon Stadium, we'll be having the races and then football and then the match pass with the tug of war. Those ones will be at the Yakubu Gowon Stadium, and the commencement time is going to be 9 o'clock. Now, we have spoken mainly about the sports itself, but this time around it's not going to just be only about sports. We are also going to use this opportunity to showcase the rich cultural heritage of Rivers State. We have been in contact with the Rivers State Council for Arts and Culture to come and then display the full array of the traditional dance and music of the various tribes of Rivers State. It's going to be a spectacle to behold, because our major intention is to see how we'll be able to leave lasting impressions on people on the visitors that are going to come in from the other states. You know, we need to tell them that these are the kind of things they will experience in every state they go to, that this is something that they should look out for. One of the things that we also need to let us know is that we've also invited the state secondary schools for invitational races. You know, we have been preaching unity amongst ourselves. we were groomed on that. So it's time to pass on the message, not through just the press, but also through personal interactions with the various secondary schools. We are talking about secondary schools like Baptist High School, Anitona, Comprehensive, and the likes, so that they will come and then experience what Pro Unitate is all about. We've had, just as the Secretary General said, we've had divisive tendencies, and it's time to let go of those centripetal forces and then try to see how we can, through sports, preach the message of unity, bringing each and every one of us together. It has also afforded us the opportunity of also showcasing River State, or we intend showcasing River State as not just a sporting destination or a tourist destination, but also a business destination where visitors will be able to come in, move along freely in River State, and also witness the business opportunities, because it's going to be sports, carnival, tourism, and also business. So the business opportunities will be made known because the vendors are going to be there, especially on Saturday, where we'll open up a new vista for people that are coming to still to know that River State is also a business destination. So that's the whole thing about this year's sporting event. So that when everybody goes back, people will be thinking, or people will love to come back to the States and also take advantage of what they have seen on offer during the sports carnival.
That's first with the second one. It's a conversation question that we hear all the time. So first of all, I think I want to say categorically that the experiment has worked, right? And is it still working? Yes. You see people seated on this side, and you see ex-students of federal unity colleges all over the place who have given their best and who continue to give their best in terms of development of our nation. You see them as captain of industries, all walks of life, politics, business, across board. And all they give is their all, integrity, passion. And you might probably say that you are not, I will say it this way, and that's why I said partnership with the media is very essential to tell your narrative and your story. What has happened over the years is we keep getting the wrong narrative passed across media, and people don't get to see the positive ends of, people who are attracted to negative news and coloration of things. There's a lot of positives that have come, and they will continue to come as a result of the vision of the founders of the federal unity colleges. It has produced a lot of great people, and for the fact that you see gray-haired people come together 40 years after they have left school, 30 years after they left school, preaching the unity conversation. It goes to tell you that till a lot of us will breathe our last. We know Nigeria as unity as a country that must continue to emphasize that even though we are different, we are from different parts, but we are one. That we know nothing other than that. So it's not a question, is it working? It has worked and produced real life testimonies. What we have not been able to do effectively, which is what we are doing now, is to be able to communicate the success stories more so that people can be enlightened. What are we talking about? What is national unity? What is it to be detribalized? What is your experience of? I will always use this narrative, and I'll tell people, my best friends in secondary school all my life are probably people who are not from the part of the country that I come from. We had an assembly hall in Federal College. I always cite this as an example. The Protestants will use it early in the morning for service. The Catholics will use it in the evening for service. The Muslims had used it on Friday for prayers. The same assembly hall. It wasn't different. It was the same building that the different religious groups will come together, congregate, and have their services. And we'll all play together under the same compound. There was no fight against. In fact, when we just had the religious fast periods, and in school it was awesome. We would even go to their Muslim brethren and peck and
Yes.
So if I don't tell the story, you're laughing now, sir. If I don't say this story, it seems as if I see a Muslim on the street, I should stay away from him.
So we must, and that's why I called on the partnership with the media. Let's embrace positive communication of success stories and unify Nigeria, as against headlines that do not send positive messages, especially around our unity. That is a challenge we have as a nation. We are quick to embrace negative news that gives the impression that we are not united, as against positive news. If we had that mindset change, I'm sure the questions will not. For your second question, first of all, we have strong confidence in our LOC. They have done a lot of work around ensuring that we have a successful event. No need to emphasize that. And you see, the truth is, we must continue to remember, like we have said, that we are about the unity of Nigeria. There's no part in Nigeria where we do not have our footprints. I'm very, very confident that every Nigerian, every member, ex-student of Federal Government College will come to Port Harcourt and be very, very safe. Because a lot of the people who I went to school with reside here. A lot of the people who he went to school here reside here. There's nobody who will come to Port Harcourt for this event and will not have a brother to embrace who is next to him. So this is the safest place for anybody to be right now in Nigeria, especially around this weekend's activities. Trust me, because we have members of federal government colleges who reside here from all tribes who will be here for the games. You're right, and I think that is direct response to your question. Unless you want to.
Yeah,
why we're in River State.
Yeah, government college will carry inter-River states. I can tell you that while the hula baloo of the Jukun and Tiv war was going on, we were still going to school, interacting with both the Jukuns and the Tivs. And we know that when you talk about ethnic rivalries, it's much more deeper than even political rivalries. But in as much as it was in existence, we still interacted, we still ate together. Now, bringing it down here and then trying to point fingers at whatever political differences or whatever, or the political tension, for us, we just see this as a small fry compared to what we are preaching. We are preaching about the unity of this country, despite your political or religious or ethnic affiliations. So, what better time to come to Port Harcourt than now? There is no better time to say, look, everybody can exist and do things in safety despite whatever political affiliations or religious affiliations you might tend to lean towards. So we are here to preach unity irrespective of any political divide or tensions that may be in existence. So this is the best time to be here in River State. As a matter of fact, maybe if we were in another state and maybe we were having this kind of a situation, I think we would have been thinking of coming down to Port Harcourt to preach unity.
All right, thanks.
And I must address this. One of the intangibles that we tend to overlook is that fabric of unity that has been bringing us together. Most of the times we tend to overlook it. We don't know that the way we were groomed has tended to hold this country together. And I can definitely tell you that the Unity Schools and the National Youth Service program is what has been able to help us change that mindset. Yes, the political tensions might be high around the country and everything, but the silent players are the ones that have been groomed to face this country and unite this country. They are the intangibles. You're not seeing it happen, you're not seeing it, you feel that it's not working, but I can tell you that it's actually working because of structures or institutions like the Unity Schools and that of the Youth Service Program.
The nexus between politics and Unity Schools. So for us at this end, as Unity's product of Unity Schools, we believe there is beauty in diversity. We can disagree and still come to the table for one goal. The end goal is for Nigeria to be better. The end goal is to have a country where people are envious of. So for us, we do not see diversity as a weakness. Rather, we see it as a Unity School. We see it as a strength for the man who's from the north, for the man who's from the east. So we look at it that okay, we differ. So that means we are richer. If we don't have to have the same opinion. We don't have to see things the same way. But what makes it beautiful is that when we come together, we have one goal, which is unity. We have one goal, which is for a better Nigeria. So that nullifies whatever political side that we belong to, because our focus is to make Nigeria better. And that's what we are preaching from Unity Schools Students Association. Thank you. I would also like to add, prior to this, we may want to capture that, because prior to this press conference, we were at the office of the head of service to pay a courtesy visit, and they truly embraced this. And most importantly, we were at the office of the secretary to the state government, who endorsed this event fully, and they are excited and appreciative of the fact that we're bringing this event at this time, and they have given their full support to make sure that it's a very welcome experience for everybody who visits River State for Usosa Sports Festival. So truly we appreciate the support of the River State government in this festival. Thank you.